Trick or treat. What do you want? A trick or a treat? One or the other. You better give me one or the other. Otherwise, you're getting... Oh, wait, no. What is it? Give me a treat or we're playing a trick. Is that the meaning of the greeting? Trick or treat. Or maybe they're supposed to give us... If they don't have a treat, they got to give us a trick. You don't have any candy? What do you mean? This is a stick-up. See, we're all in masks. We're all in costumes. Tonight's the night. You give us the candy. You ain't got a candy? No candy? You better give us a trick. Pull off a trick for us. You better. Otherwise, we're going to have to trick you. You know, you're not going to like that. The emboldening of the youth to dominate the night. One night every year. Who knows what will happen tonight? It could be anything. Supposedly there's a solar flare coming in right now, and it's also all this rain. Are they connected? Probably. So in Allodium, there's these weekly reports, which are in a blockchain of reports, and I publish them on every Tuesday. And then these videos here, I do every month, like the video recap. So the new format I'm going to do, because I haven't really added any format into the video other than kind of being like, this is what's going on here, and then somewhat recently I kind of included my external perspective and forecast and relation and these different things. But one thing I am going to do as kind of a format for these monthly videos is to cover the blocks. So the last 4 blocks from 208 to 211, so the last 4 weeks, it's been within those was the 4th anniversary. Is it an anniversary, I guess? Year mark since the Genesis block of Allodium. So, officially in the 5th year, 4 years old. Right? So in the 208, that was the first block of the last week, of the last month. I got the garage all set up in the entry hall, so everything got moved out of the previous entry room into the lower bay of the entry hall. All the tools got all organized down there, so that's like the new tool space, which allowed me to relocate all the stuff out of there, including the workbench and stuff, and moved it all down there, and then started the kitchen renovation project, insulating that and turning that from the entry room into the kitchen. And that involved framing out what had once been the outhouse, and then got connected into the other structures. So now the outhouse is framed out to continually be outside, even though it's connected with the roof, but it's all outside and not insulated, and the kitchen will be insulated. We're coming into the very end of the official season. Basically, in the last 4 years, this is the first season where it's been just me. The last 4 years have been a cooperation of multiple people, and for a variety of reasons, this last season has been just me. So there's really no... Anyways, I guess the only reason why that's important at this point for Allodium is there will be a split relative to my share and then the share that is Allodium's, I think. Something along those lines. I still have to figure it out. But anyways, in the next week in 209, I set up 3 more solar panels. So now the shipping container has 9 solar panels on it, and that's connected to a battery bank with 800 amp hour batteries. And then up here, there's 7 solar panels connected to 5 batteries. And I have to reframe those and maybe connect in an 8th one. We shall see. Also, in the block number 209, the kitchen counter got graded. So, took all the shelves out of the entry room and built a counter and then poured a mortar countertop for it. Now the refrigerator, the mini fridge, is on top of the counter, so it's at like chest height, so you don't have to bend down to access the fridge anymore, which is nice. And there will be plenty of counter space in there just as soon as I clear it out from being a workspace and get all my tools and stuff out of there. which the plan is to do by Tuesday, which is only basically all tomorrow. So there's a lot on the agenda still to do, but my goal is to basically do a bit of organizing and stuff in the next couple of days, as well as finishing insulating that kitchen and sealing it off. It's really rainy, and that affects the work, but we'll see. So, and then in block 210, also we got plenty of firewood for the year. It'd be nice to get one more cord just to be safe, but I think there's enough for now. So in block 210, the gate tower roof got finished. It's all insulated and mortared. So that's great. One thing I haven't done yet is seal it, and I have the sealant, and I was just thinking these last 2 days of rain, it would have been great if I would have sealed it beforehand, but basically you need it to dry out in order to be able to seal it, so that it can absorb the sealant, because if it's wet, then the sealant will just run off, and then you waste the sealant. So yep, that's another thing to do. Oh, and then in block 210, the chimney also got aircreted and finished, and it's probably not as well. The aircrete collapsed a couple times, so it's not as insulative as it would be ideally, but I think it'll still be safe. And that means that the gate tower could be a livable space. If it was a necessity, it could be. It's not finished or anything, but it has a heat source and it's insulated, so if someone absolutely had to stay there, they could. At some point, it'll probably get prioritized and finished, and maybe even rented. We'll see. And then in the previous block, there'll be the 212 will be the end of the season in only 2 days. So in the last block, the Merlons on top of the parapet wall for the whole front facade got sheathed in metal and then mortared. So now they look like pretty much like big rocks, and because of the dimensions of them, they make it look like the wall has more depth than it does. So it looks like one big rock, and it kind of is, even though the rock is not too thick, so it's a lot lighter than it looks. And but it pulls off the castle facade, which is what I was going for, because it's important strategically for the architecture to resemble a castle, from my perspective. And so overall, just wrapping up the season, getting ready for freezing temperatures. As it's getting colder, there's less potential to do mortar outside, so I'm trying to finish all that and then seal up other areas so that any other mortar can be done inside and those areas are sealed. The priority right now is just the kitchen, so hopefully I'll rally today and get some progress, and then tomorrow get it to a finished state before an organized, rough, usable state before the next report in the end of the season. Other than that, in the last month, I've had lots of YouTube activity. I've found that it fulfills some form of communication that I think is symbiotic both for me and for some viewers. And so it's the only social, that and noise.cash, but I'm not really using noise.cash much, but it's only kind of social engagement on the internet I'm having, and I'm not having much social engagement otherwise either, but hopefully that will change. And then overall, in the macro sense of everything, I've got see the same trends and have the same perspective that the economy is in a tough shape, and there's a big disconnect between what the mainstream media says and what's being broadcast on the mainstream channels versus the reality. And there's a growing disconnect between groups of people who are awake and who are not awake. Zombies. The divide between the people and the zombies is seemingly growing. I made the video I made about Bomb the Volcano or something like that. A couple videos again on the YouTube channel kind of highlights that. It's like that guy's like a zombie in a politician's body, where the only perspective that is available is a technological perspective, and it's madness. And the people who would follow someone like that as like their leader, it's very easy to see how a lot of people could just go to their own deaths, because it's just like the blind leading the blind. There's just, I don't know. I don't understand it, honestly. But maybe my perspective is just skewed. But from everything that I'm seeing, there's this war on against the war against the corona is what it is. We replace the war against terror with the war against the corona, and it's probably going to last just as long. It's going to be just as effective, just as profitable for similar groups of people, and so to plan for that and to try to thrive in such an environment is very difficult, and without perspective, it's impossible, because you can't solve the problem if you can't understand the problem. You might think that there's a chance. Maybe. I don't know. If I just saw a video of a Rolex watch getting fixed. If I had to fix a Rolex watch, what do you think the chances are that I can fix that watch and get it back together correctly timed and tuned and working? It's like 0. There's no chance that that's going to happen. I'll take it apart and like break it. Anyways, what else is there to say? I don't know. If you want to hear more, you can follow the YouTube videos. Otherwise, we're going to be going into basically some form of transition into winter mode over the next month. And until then, I suppose that will be all regarding Allodium. Hope you all have a great day and month. Until I talk to you next about Allodium.